Chelsea Football Club, it looks like Enzo Maresca has decided to be flexible and change the system. Yes, no more touchline wingers. He goes into detail and I absolutely love it. But the only question is, why did you have to wait? Why did you have to wait till game week 24 to be a little bit flexible? Furthermore, Joao Felix has his debut at AC Milan and then the director comes out and says, we can get this deal across the line in June. We've got great relationships with Chelsea. Oh yeah. And he scored on his debut because he's actually a very good player. Furthermore, we've got tremendous news when it comes to Badiashile being back potentially really soon and Fofana's in individual training. But Chelsea have got a big announcement regarding Wesley Fofana. They ain't rushing him. We're going to talk about that as well. But before we get started, number one, hit that like button. 1,000 likes goes a massive way. In the comments below, let me know what number like you are. It's the best way for me to know which one of you regularly mess with the channel. Furthermore, if you're new, subscribe to the channel. We're like 969 away from 40,000. The countdown continues. And if you want to leave a super thanks or a super chat in the below, just to show love to the channel, greatly appreciated. Let's get started. Look, I need to start with this part because it's the most important part. One thing I love about a manager is when they can be flexible. I hate rigidness. I hate managers that just have one way of playing and that's what you're doing. It's like having eggs, right? I hate people that will only have their eggs scrambled. Broski, there's different ways of using eggs. Stop having scrambled eggs every day. Change it a bit. You know them ones. French toast it or have an egg benedict or something else. Like change it up a bit. However, Enzo Maresca after the game, they asked him, Joao Felix is gone. What are you going to do on that left-hand side? And he basically went on a little soliloquy. He said, oh, well, we've got Tariq that can hold the left-hand side. We also can have Kuku on the left-hand side holding the width. We have Nkunku in an inside left position. And I was like, wow. Music to my ears, should be music to your ears, and music to everybody's ears. Because the reality is, we haven't heard him be so flexible with the forward line. Normally, what we hear is, no, I have my two wingers, I've got my number 9, I've got my 10 in Cole Palmer, no one else can play in that position, he needs the space, we need to be rigid. However, defensively, everybody's flexible. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to praise him for this. I think this is good. However, we need to ask the question, why? And what I think happened is, during the January window, he realized that these sporting directors aren't going to cave to every one of his demands. And what they did is basically they said, you have Nkunku or Felix, pick one. Once you pick one, that's it. He picked Nkunku. He did not want Joao. Joao went on loan. You've got Nkunku. Use him. You've got the player. You're telling us he's not a 9. Find a way to make it work. And now he's being forced to be flexible. And you know what? I really like this. I don't want these directors to go and buy players and go and invest into a manager only in 18 months to sack him, and then we've got a bunch of players that only fit his system. You've got good talent. Nkunku is a good player. But now the question goes to you guys, right? And I put a poll out there. I put a poll on my community page. Who would you want to be our first choice left winger? Do you want Christopher Nkunku there, where you have Cucurella holding the width? Nkunku comes in, does the nonsense in the pockets and just is dangerous, crashes the box. Do you want Pedro Neto, natural width, byline crosses across? Or do you want Jadon Sancho, the recycler, the Jack Grealish? I know he mentioned Tariq George. I ain't deluded. I don't think Tariq George is going to get substantial Premier League minutes. I don't believe it. I don't see it. And nor do I think he will, unless Tariq George goes on some kind of madness where he's scoring in a Conference League, he's putting up crazy numbers in the FA Cup, and he's forcing himself into the team. But at the moment, I haven't seen it. So in the comments below, let me know which one of the 3 you believe would start and should start. Speaking of somebody that would have been perfect for that left inside role, because we saw him against Leicester City. He was amazing in that game. He had a good work rate. We saw him against Ipswich. In my opinion, we lost the game, but he was the best player in that position and then was incorrectly hooked. And after he was hooked, we didn't create another chance. Joao Felix has gone on loan to AC Milan, had his debut against Roma, came off the bench, and he got a goal. And what I really liked about the goal was, it was literally good. Santiago Jimenez, the new striker, dropped in. Joao Felix went into the 9 role. The ball was a through ball, went through one-on-one, chipped the goalkeeper. Lovely cheeky finish. Joao Felix celebrated it. He took it like a pro. Then once he looks good in the AC Milan kit, he looks like he belongs. He's a good player. However, after the game, we started to hear some stories. And this is where it gets interesting. Number one, Fabrizio came out and Fabrizio reiterated, and this is what Chelsea want us to think, right? Joao Felix asked to leave the club. Joao Felix wanted to leave. Chelsea let him go because Joao Felix wanted consistent minutes. 2 things can be true It does not mean what they're saying here is 100% true. And I'm going to explain to you why. Just think about this logic. Joao Felix, when he joined Chelsea this summer, he said, I'm happy to be back. I want to stay somewhere for the long term. Since then, he's played under 250 minutes in the Premier League. He wasn't getting consistent game time. He was getting 5 minutes here and there, 3 games in a row without being used off the bench. I think he got 2 starts in that whole time in the Premier League. Since then, all January, they were pushing Nkunku out the door. If Kel said yes, Nkunku was gone. Joao was going to stay at Chelsea Football Club. Last minute, what happened? Nkunku refused to go to Manchester United. He wasn't going on loan. Joao Felix said, I'll go, no problem. Mendes sorted the deal out. The big difference here is Joao has a better agent than Nkunku does, because he got him a deal done. Like, no matter what we say about Joao, right? Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Benfica, Chelsea, and Milan. 5 elite level clubs consistently want this player. Whether you think he's rubbish, whether you think he's amazing, players always want him, clubs always want him, and his agent always gets the deal done. He's gone on loan now. Then their director came out and said, look, it's a dry loan for now. We've got a great relationship with Chelsea. We will be able to sort this deal out if we want to. For me, the most important thing now Joao can do is score goals for 2 reasons. Number one, he can smash it to the point where the directors tell Enzo, you have got a talent there. Use him. Or the second one, which I think is most likely, we sell him to a bigger club, like an AC Milan, a Barcelona, a Real Madrid. Do not sell him to anyone in England. I'm telling you now, do not sell him anyone in England. We do not need that guy to be a problem for us every time we play against him. He's far too talented, and given the right amount of minutes, he's going to be productive. I'm telling you this now. I'm going to be keeping you guys updated on Joao Felix's progress and all the other loan players' progress. In the comments below, do you think they made the right decision to let Joao go on loan? I don't. Finally, we need to talk about the centre-half situation. Look, a lot of people, a lot of content creators want Colwill dropped. I agree with them. I totally agree with them. I think Miz is the most vocal that I've seen. Miz is very angry with Colwill. He says he hasn't been good for 6 months. I disagree about the 6 months, but you know what? He's at a period where he's been average to poor, like individual mistakes, and you need to drop him. I agree. My question is, who do you drop him for? Who do you drop him for? Because the reality is, I don't trust Chalobah and I don't trust Tosin to be a partnership. I think either one of them with Colwill is a better partnership. And I think Colwill's passing, as bad as it sounds, his passing is better than both of theirs, but their defending is better than his at the moment. So it's, what do you want? When you have the ball for 70% of the game, do you want your centre-backs to be better defenders, or do you want them to be creating a platform where you pass better? However, we've got more news coming out now that Badiashile should be back soon. He's already been, his training's been intensifying. He's been doing a lot of individual training. Chelsea are going to put him back into the squad, and he's going to start team training soon and be back into the team. Phenomenal news. This guy's got good long passing range. Short passing, he struggles with. I've always said this. There is a good player in there. He just has a lot of individual mistakes. And for me, the height is important, and what it could happen is he could give us that balance. He could let us take Colwill out for a few games, put Badiashile into left centre back, and maybe that is the solution. Maybe if he gets a run of games, he can like ease himself in. I'm not convinced with him long term, I'll tell you that now. Fofana as well, he's back. The problem with Fofana is Fofana thinks he can be back by March. He's already started individual training. Chelsea are not going to rush him. Chelsea do not want a recurrent hamstring injury. They already have a problem with his knees. They do not want a hamstring injury, and they've been learning this through Reece James. So this is where it gets very interesting to see what happens. However, Fofana is our best defender. So if he's back and fit, Maresca's going to be using him. He loves the player. It's his favourite player. Like the way he talks about him, maybe after Moises Caicedo and Cole Palmer, Fofana is his third best player, like the way he talks about it. But it is what it is, guys. In the comments below, let me know. Do you think Fofana will be back this season? And if so, when do you think he'll be back? And if you want me to watch a video where I review the whole transfer window that just went past, I grade it A to U. Here it is. I talk about the incomings and the outgoings in great detail. I hope you lot enjoy it. Peace out. I'm out. Hit that like button on your way out.